All right, guys, we're at it with another project on the old Gladiator here. So today we're going to install a bumper guard on the factory steel bumper. Now you notice I already put the winch in there, so a little late to do a video on that, but we're going to be doing the Mopar triple hoop grill guard for the factory steel bumper. So I'll save you the unboxing video portion of this, but basically what comes in the box is obviously the triple hoop. You get a bunch of hardware, and we'll talk more about that as we're installing it, and some instructions. It's a really quick little one sheet of paper to show you how to do that. Alright, so what we're going to need for this install is a torque wrench, because in the instructions they specify 28 Newton meters, which is about 20 foot-pounds of torque. We're going to need a T45. We're going to need, well, for me, I'm going to need a 1/2 inch to 3/8 adapter, because my torque wrench is 1/2 inch, and my Torx is 3/8. You might need a ratchet and an extension, and I'm going to use my trusty little Milwaukee to take the bolts out. Alright, so according to the instructions, we need to go ahead and pull out these two bolts right here, and these two, and then the same on the other side. Let's get to it. Alright, so that should leave you with 8 bolts total taken out. Now, we'll talk about the hardware over here and get ready to install it. Alright, so in the kit you're going to get these 2 gaskets, and you're also going to get these 2 spacers. And if you are still using the end pieces on the bumper here, then you won't need these spacers. But if you've taken the factory end pieces off and you run it as a stubby bumper, then these brackets will take place of the thickness of what the end pieces were. So we're not going to need it in this case because we're running the factory bumper. You're also going to get 2 of these little rubber plugs, and what they're for is to put in the bottom of the bumper here. As you can see, that these are actually to be able to run some wire through if you're going to run lights or something like that. And we are going to do that in the future, but for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and stick those little rubber stoppers in there. By the way, these bolts aren't any longer. As you can tell, they're the same length as the factory bolts, but as the factory likes to give you new bolts because they also have their locking compound on there. So they're not any longer. So if you mess one up or something, you can still use the factory one. I would just put blue Loctite on there. But since they came with new ones, we're going to go ahead and use those. Alright, I'm just going to start by hand tightening a couple of bolts right there to hold the bumper in place. And then we'll finish off getting started with, or getting all the other bolts started. We'll be right back. Alright guys, so I'm not going to use the impact gun to tighten these down because I don't want to strip them or something, and they are supposed to be torqued, so I'm just going to go ahead and run them down with a 3/8 ratchet and a 6-inch extension, so you can get into those hard to get areas without worrying about scratching the bumper. Like over here. Alright, time to torque. Alright, I got my torque wrench set up to 28 Newton meters. Anybody want to guess if I over tightened them already? Let's see. No? How about that? we had to switch sockets because, or Torx, because the other one was kind of jacked up. So we already brought this one to torque, just so you can kind of see how it was. There we go. And on down the line, but we won't bore you with this. We'll be right back. All right. Well, there you go, guys. It's on there. It's torqued down. It's ready to go. I think it looks really tough on that Jeep. But wait, there's more. We're not done yet. Got some accessory brackets I'm going to put on it. So we'll get to that right now. So both of these brackets I got off of Amazon, and I'll put links below for all this stuff. But these were identical to the factory Mopar brackets. In fact, I think they might be the Mopar brackets. But of course it says these are made in China. But $89 for the factory one versus, I don't remember, like 15 or 20 bucks or something for these. Again, I'll put the link in the description below, but it was substantially cheaper and I thought I'd take a chance at it. And then I also tried a different set. It's a little different configuration. It's got a bolt through here rather than how these are just kind of milled and slotted. This has an actual bolt through it, and then of course they clamp. Now these are meant for 2-inch and less, but they come with 2-inch and a few other smaller sizes, but they come with these adapters so you can go on multiple size tubing. All right, we already slid this clamp on. You don't really need the rubber for the 2-inch. The rubber would be used for like a 1 3/4, whatever the next size down is. It was pretty fidgety to get it on there, so I'll show you on the other side, but that's what it's gonna look like, and we're just gonna put our 2 bolts in here and crank her down. That's all there is to it. So when putting these on, I would highly suggest you're gonna line up the bottom side where you're going to want it first. And in my case, I put them just a little bit over the recovery point there. And then you see how it has this, it's like a little T-slot, and that's a corresponding male part. There we go. All right, well, it looks like it's going to be a little difficult. I'm going to have to try and... That ain't working. Oh, there we go. Maybe that'll work now. Yeah, we got more room there. Yep, I'm afraid that's the only way it's going to go. Oh, didn't seem to do any damage. So we're good to go. Basically same thing as the other side. So in this kit, for the other style light brackets, you could tell that is going to be a lot easier to put on. And like I mentioned earlier, they come with 2 different sizes of inserts, depending on the size bar. So on this one we are going to need, because I tried these before, we are going to need these skinny inserts to put on the 2-inch bar. Alright guys, I wanted to show you how much easier these go on. It's so much simpler. I would say, I guess it's just going to depend on appearance and what you like. I like the way both of them look. I bought both of them just to really try both of them out and see how they were, but I would definitely do these again. This would be my top choice. And those are very secure. All right guys, that's going to wrap it up for this bumper install. The light brackets we put on here is for a future project. One of them including lights and one of them including something else. I don't want to give it away, but it might include this, and that'll be in the next video. Hey, if you found this video helpful, then consider subscribing, give it a thumbs up, hit that notification bell so you know when we put out new crazy videos. And we appreciate you. See you on the next one.